All right, we are live again for another amazing show. Wow, I can barely wait until the next day to jump on here to talk to you guys because we've got such an amazing crew. You guys are all just so much fun. James in the house, what up? You're number one. Woohoo! Jumping right into the market. Yeah, that's what we're doing. We got a lot of important updates and news for you guys today. One of which is a very important date to watch that Trip is going to go over. We're going to give you the secret sauce a little bit, not how we got to it, but why that date is important on this show. And spoiler alert, it is July 20th. So we are going to go over why that is a very important date to watch that you need to have on your radar. So stay tuned for that because that's a big one. What up, BitSource? Hi, Crypto Megan. Theta hits 86 cents. Let's go, Theta. Yeah, we really timed the beginning of our sort of like stream adventure really well because things have been popping off. I mean, just some things we covered on the show yesterday, including Solana is already, I mean, a lot of things are starting to bubble up right now during the stream as we're live. So that's super, super exciting. Let's go Theta on the road to, I mean, who knows, right? Infinity. Really cool. So today, hello again. Hi, Almonine. Welcome to the show. I was just saying to stay tuned because we're going to go over why July 20th could be a very important date to watch here. So stay tuned for that. We're also going to go over some crypto news, some parts of my podcast with Kevin O'Leary about why crypto regulation, favorable crypto regulation could set this market on fire in a good way. I mean, like really get things going, really unlock that trillions in liquidity coming in. Party time, Media Mod, I like your vibe. It's always party time. We got ATH vodka in the back, and we're just having a good time. We got a really special show today. Wednesdays are always some of my favorites because it's midweek and we're sort of like getting ready for the action. I don't know, we're right in the middle of it. So it's really exciting. Funky Dog, hola, what's up from Fuengirola? That's here in Spain where I'm at. Good to see you, Funky Dog. Yeah, welcome to the stream. He's in southern Spain with me here. So it's evening our time and we are fired up and ready to go. And I've been staying up really, really late because the markets have been so exciting. So, all right, I'm going to get into this as we're waiting for more people to join for our A team. But yeah, we got some really, really amazing stuff here on the stream today, including some gems that are ready to pop off, some setups, and we're going to be taking requests. So get those requests ready for the altcoin segment, 2 lives in a row. So excited. Good to have you, Jeremy. Yeah, we've been doing live since last Monday, nonstop, Monday through Friday. And, you know, if people are liking it, we're going to keep going because we want to give that value. We want to allow you to join in and just, you know, ride the wave with us, basically. Of course, you know, we give live updates 24/7 to our group and so many setups that are some of the best setups, primed and ready. So the link is in the description below. We extended the 20% off sale until Friday, guys. So make the move. Make the move. If you're thinking about doing it, just do it. Just invest in yourself. Just take the leap because you will not regret it. It is absolutely amazing. We've been getting incredible feedback, which we're going to go over in the show as well. So, all right, guys, I'm going to jump into the news. I'm going to share my screen now, just go over what has just happened in the cryptocurrency landscape since we last talked. So I'm going to share my screen for a minute here and go over just exactly what is happening, okay? So let me know if you can see it all right. And good. So we are going to have a look at just scrolling up and down what has happened exactly in this time. So basically, I just want to put this on your radar. So purchasing power of the US dollar since June 1950, okay? $1 became 55 cents in 1975, 14 cents in 2000, and 2025 became 7 cents. That's astounding, okay? So if you want to ask yourself why you're here, just look at that alone. That is absolutely incredible. We got CZ just popping off all the time with his wisdom. I actually think CZ is a really cool guy. I do like Binance team. I've spoken to them on many occasions. We've done many events together. I mean, where I've been there, we've been with the team. And I think that CZ is kind of like, he has a really good, big vision for the space. So he says Bitcoin could solve most public debt. Absolutely. And then I wanted to get into what's happening with the White House, because that's the real juice, the real meat of today, right? President Trump says that he's likely to fire Fed Chair Jerome Powell, which we all know, but he's looking to replace him, I believe, with Scott Bessent, which I think would be a really good thing. Bank of America expects to launch a crypto stablecoin. Right, stablecoins are all the rage this cycle, and this is the piece of news that's one of the biggest, right? The US House advances Crypto Genius Act, Clarity Act, and Anti-CBDC Act. That is huge. We really want this Genius Act to move forward and in a big way. I'm going to go over just why in a second. But look at this, 211 Democrats voted against advancing pro-crypto legislation. So like, you don't want to be on the wrong side of history, guys. You just don't want to be on the wrong side of history. And being on the wrong side in this case is what actually moved the needle. That small percentage is what tipped the scale, right? And probably what caused the other side to win, because they decided to be on the right side of history. So that's a big thing. And now I'm going to get into just a little bit more about this Genius Act and why it should be on your radar. So the U.S. House votes to move forward with Stablecoin Genius Act, crypto market structure bills following tumultuous procedural votes. So this has been like a really hot topic. In fact, I discussed it on my podcast with Kevin O'Leary back at Consensus in Canada. I believe that was in May. Yeah. So it's a really important one to follow. And the US House voted to move forward and later take a vote on Genius, which would create a regulatory framework for stablecoins and could be slated to head President Trump before the end of the week. That is massive. Okay. They also voted to proceed with Digital Asset Market Clarity Act, which takes a whole of crypto approach and would create a clear regulatory framework for crypto. Now I'm going to come back to you guys for a second and explain why this is so big, right? Why this is so massive, because, sorry about this, because we need that pro legislation to actually unlock the floodgates, right? We can't really truly explode until we have that regulatory framework. So I'm just going to read a few comments. Megan in the house, what up? I'm sure the rest of the A team will be here soon. Austin had an unexpected live. They are on. Okay, well, we miss them now, but I'm sure they'll come by later. Thank you for joining, Megan. You are tuning in all the time, and that is absolutely amazing. Traveler 88, why isn't Theta moving? Didn't somebody say Theta just had a pump? We'll have a look at Theta later, but we cover it almost every stream because we have so many Theta people here in the house. Hey, Crypto Megan, I saw your podcast with Charles Hoskins, and big up. Thank you so much. That one was so much fun. I mean, we've got like talks about DeFi coming to Bitcoin and like Cardano being the layer to help it do so. We've got a lot of things bubbling that we never thought possible in this space before. So it's massive. And back to the Stablecoin Act, the clarity. All right. I'm going to play a few clips now for you guys from my podcast with Kevin O'Leary, just so you can understand why traditional finance and people, like, just a different perspective on why that's so big and why it's necessary. So I'm going to pull this up now for just a minute. XRP to the moon. I agree. I think it's about to break out now if it hasn't already, but I'm going to add this now. I'm going to play this for you guys for a minute.
First pro-crypto administration. It's kind of polemic. It's caused a lot of stir of emotions among many people. I would say that in the crypto world, we're highly kind of single issue voters, right? We just want to get pro-regulation, sensible regulation. A lot of people are upset at a lot of the things that are happening that Trump's doing, and they don't understand the tariffs. And, walk us through what's happening on a macro scale right now and your kind of view on President Trump as a leader and what kind of leader we need in these conditions.
Yeah, well, I think I've seen this movie before, the optimism about crypto adoption and regulation. I'm sort of in the camp that, is show me now. I mean, I like the tone, but I want to see the first bill passed. That's going to be the Genius Act, which is renamed the Stablecoin Act from back, a few years ago. That's close to being passed, which would be a very big move forward for the crypto industry because it would show the adoption starting at a regulated level, even though it's the basics of a digital payment system in stablecoin.
So he seems to think that is like one of the key, Kevin O'Leary, and a lot of traditional financial people who are maybe even somewhere on the sidelines, right? They're like, is now the time? Should I make the leap? Should I, like, that's going to unlock the floodgates, okay? And I want to play you one last clip before we dive into the charts. So bear with me. Al-Manin, any crypto party hosting in Marbella? I'm up for it. Hey, if you guys want to have a party here, I'll throw a party. I mean, it's so much fun here in Spain right now, and it's just such good vibes. Man, this year is so exciting, and I'm so happy to be here with you. This show is going to be absolutely phenomenal. I can't wait for Trip to explain why July 20th is a date on our radar, but we've been nailing setups in the group, and we've been having a lot of fun doing so. So I'm going to play one last clip for you guys that I think you might like, just explaining why Kevin O'Leary believes that Bitcoin could be in a range for a while. Check it out.
narrative, so we already went through that one. Of course, everybody wants to know bull market top for Bitcoin this cycle. Pick a number.
150.
150. Okay, I will say one little thing about that. I had the mooch on this past April, and he did say a few interesting things, which was never bet against the U.S. So you guys kind of converged.
I know the
on that
mooch
point.
very well.
Yeah? I saw your sparring match with him,
Yes,
actually.
I kicked
Your
his
verbal
ass.
spar, you won.
I kicked his ass. I'm very proud of that. He needed that ass kick.
If you haven't seen that, go check it out. It's a good one. But he said that Bitcoin should be trading at the capitalization of an entire asset class, the market cap of an asset class, not as a business, right? And that it could easily trade at half the market cap of gold and would still be undervalued. What would you say?
You know, we've talked about that, he and I, for 2 years now. I agree with him, but I said to him, look, it's never going to happen till the regulator designates it either a commodity or a security, which we don't have yet. We need the Infrastructure Act. It's going to kind of be, in my mind, in a range between 80,000 and 200,000 forever until it gets designated as a commodity, which I believe it is. But the regulator could call it a security, but it won't matter. It just needs to be determined so that it can be indexed.
Right. Okay.
All right, so I'm going to take this off for a minute. I'm done with the news clips, guys. I just want to get you in the right headspace, right? Because there's so much going on. But basically, we're at kind of like a turning point, an inflection point where President Trump is saying he's going to make it the crypto capital of the world, and all these announcements are coming out. I mean, what are they going to do to make that happen? And one of those things is that regulatory clarity. And I'm telling you, when that happens, it is like all bets are off, and we're already doing it without that. So that's why I believe this is just the tip of the iceberg, because we're already there with Bitcoin. Look at where we are, how far we've come, and we don't have the liquidity. They haven't lowered the rates. Like so many things haven't happened yet that have usually already happened, and we're already raging on. So I'm really excited for the future of what's coming. Andrew says he's hanging in here and in Austin's stream. Wow. Okay. So you're having a double party. I guess we decided to stream at the same time. Great minds think alike. Thank you for popping in, Andrew. We love your energy here. And yeah, guys, I'm just pumped. I'm very pumped for this Wednesday, setting the tone with what if we get this regulation faster than we think? And that's what sort of sets everything off, right? So I'm going to leave you with that. Also, let me know if you think that Kevin O'Leary is correct on his Bitcoin price prediction for 150,000 this cycle. I think it'll blow past that, but that's just my opinion. And also, he said he prefers Solana over Ethereum, and that HBAR is his top undervalued crypto. So we shall see. And with that, Trip, how you doing? How's it going?
Hey, Megan, doing pretty good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm pumped. I'm so pumped. We've been talking before this. I mean, the markets are just bubbling over. I'm really excited for what's happening right now.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. I mean, we have a lot of setups that are complementing all of the news that's happening currently. So yeah, we're waiting for that Genius Act result to see how that's going to go. But I think the market's already anticipating that it's going to go well. Trump has been very open about it, and he's been already saying that we assume that all the members are going to agree to it as well. So everything looks good as far as I can see, and the charts are lining up.
Oh yeah, and that's the point. There's confluence in both like fundamentals and macroeconomics and also the charts, and things just be lining up. They seem to be lining up to create a sort of perfect storm, right? The conditions that it would take for things to kind of like go a little bit nuts. So just to put it simply. So I'll let you open up, Trip, with a little Bitcoin analysis. Let's see where we're at.
Actually, we're going to start with the results here first.
Okay.
Do you have my screen up there?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Perfect. Oh yeah, so this is just from the past week or so. There's a lot of bonk trades from our leverage traders, and they've just been killing it so far. One of the other entries or other positions we had was in Bera, and then Ethereum, I think, is over here as well. And then Pepe for another 200% down there. So 627% for Bera, 196% for Bonk, 157% for Bonk, another 132% for Bonk, and Ethereum at 125%. Bonk again, 246%, and then 421% for Bonk again. And that Pepe one we mentioned already at 201%. So yeah, we've been doing very well in the group. Everyone's very exciting. And these are just, this is just a small sample of the results that we've had over the past week or two so far.
Oh, wow. People are crushing on Bonk. I think we talked about that on the live stream as well. So if you're paying attention, you got to get in that with us. So man, you guys better be tuning in if you want to crush it in these markets. That's all I'm saying. Funky Dog says Solana is the next FTX. Yeah, it could be. I mean, I think Ethereum has been faded this cycle, and people have just been bearish on Ethereum when they shouldn't be, and that we're about to see a huge run there. Samuel, thank you for tuning in, always supporting, much appreciated. But yeah, guys, people are crushing it in the group. Learning how to trade, learning how to leverage trade as well. As you can see, some of these results are astronomical. 627% on Bera. That was a setup posted in our leverage group. Bonk also. I mean, this is what we're doing right now. I mean, now is the time to be engaged, full speed ahead. I don't care what you do. Find the time. It is like fundamental that you put this education first right now, because right now is a critical time to do so. So yeah, for all of you who are joining, welcome to the stream, and thank you to all the new members and community members. We are having a phenomenal time. If you do want to join the group, there's a 20% off sale going on for 2 more days until Friday. We extended it, so link is in the description. We would be so happy to have you, and most of all, do it for yourself, because now is the time to get as educated as possible. And if nothing else, just tune into these live streams and you will have a great time and also learn a lot in the process. So yeah, we're crushing it, Trip.
Yeah, we're doing very good. We want to take a look at that Bitcoin dominance next, just to see what has happened since. So in our previous stream, we had a little triangle drawn in here, a bearish pennant, and we were talking about if this triangle had broken lower, then we're expecting a parabolic drop, and now we're watching it happen live. So this is the current live action 4-hour chart on Bitcoin dominance. This was the next support level we were watching for, and dominance is currently pushing below that level as well. The next support is all the way down here around 62%. So Ethereum has been working inversely against dominance. So whenever dominance crashes, we usually watch Ethereum to see how well it's doing. And it's doing pretty much the same thing, but it's going up in the opposite direction just as quickly, it seems, too.
Yeah, I mean, we've been watching this. I remember when I just said this would make me really excited if we saw this chart implode. And we've been watching that in real time, stream to stream, as it's been happening. So let's look at this update here.
Yeah, so this is the most recent chart we talked about. So if this point of control that we were watching was to break lower after this bearish divergence played out near these overbought conditions, we're expecting a move to test this yellow trend line that has been in place since about November of 2022. And the idea here, again, is just if this divergence plays out to its fullest, if we get that move down to the yellow trend line, we're looking for oversold conditions to come down for Bitcoin dominance on the weekly chart. So this, again, should equate to maybe a couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months worth of altcoin trading. It really depends how fast this moves. But otherwise, everything's been taking off for the altcoins while this pullback has been happening. So this is one of our strongest indicators when you're looking for alt season-like moves. The big alt seasons that we talked about too, those are the big corrections like this one back here that we had in 2021. So hard to say right now if we're going to have the same size of a correction from these levels. But again, this could be the beginning of something very big happening. We could have many months to go of alt season if this trend line were to break lower.
Wow, I like the sound of that. Many months of altcoin season, guys, and we're just at the beginning. You see that little blip on dominance there? That's where we are now. So if you're tuning in now, you are not late to the party. You're just right in time, but you got to act fast. Like don't sleep on this. Don't fumble the ball, guys. You got to get this right, and this is a massive opportunity. So now is the time.
Yeah, this is the easiest trading you can get for altcoins is when dominance is pulling back on high time frames. You can literally fall backwards into a good trade, essentially. Everything seems to be bouncing at least 10, 20% or so. So the ones we're trying to capture in group are the ones that stand out and have a higher potential for movement. And we're trying to find the ones that are the first movers. And the reason for that is because you want to compound your gains. So you want to find the first moving coins in the market, take profit on those, and now your next trade can be X amount bigger because now you have profits to throw into those other trades down the road.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what we discussed on the stream earlier. Don't FOMO into stuff. Don't marry coins. Just like if you're trying to trade, what Trip is saying is fundamental. Just master your emotions. Try to stay cool, calm, and collected. If one takes off without you, go look for another setup that hasn't taken off yet and wait for a pullback, because they will happen. And it's just amazing conditions. Like Trip said, you can fall back into a nice trade right now. So no need to FOMO into anything, and just keep an eye out for, we're posting 24/7 in the group, all the best setups that are ready to go. So move on to the next one if one takes off without you. And there's so many opportunities right now.
Right. Yeah. So the Bitcoin 1 week chart too that we were talking about yesterday, this long-term trend line from December, pretty much January of 2018, we've been watching this breakout and the retest over here in this area. I'll try to zoom in a little bit just so you guys can see what's actually happening down here. So we were looking for this retest of this long-term trend line, and this should propel Bitcoin to higher levels if this retest confirms. So locally, we're looking for a break and a hold above the 1.272 level, and that's that 120K psychological resistance we've been talking about a number of times. So now it's starting to show exactly how strong that resistance is. You got a wick on both sides of this current weekly candle, so there's slight indecision on whether or not it should go up from here, or if we still have some correction time to watch for.
Right. And that truly is kind of where we're at. Indecision, it's inflection point. We're coming here and people are like, when is the correction going to happen? Is the correction going to happen? And people are a little bit unsure. So that's why, the date that comes into play during this stream may be of use, right, that we're going to take a look at. But the important part is that we've broken above this trend line of 7 years, right? So far.
7-year trend line. Yeah.
So that's massive.
Right. The next one we have, just to zoom in a little bit, this is the 1-day chart, and we're using time measurement tools here as well. So I like to use the 272 as one of my main fib levels, or fib calculations, I guess. Like when it's a vertical, it's not really a level. So fib time, these are vertical levels that tell you dates. So we had a really nice reaction at the 272, and now we're looking for another reaction over here at the 0.618. So usually the way this works is that if you get a good reaction at the 272, you can expect an equally similar type of reaction at the 0.618. So what we're waiting for is either we get a pullback down to the 618 here, and that would line up with the 618 horizontal level at the same area as the 618 vertical level, and that's that July 20th date that we're hoping for. So we think there's going to be some kind of dramatic effect happening on that day, or at least within a 12 to 1 day window of that time. So it might not be perfect, but it's still this area of an inflection point. So if we do get that pullback, we're expecting a big bounce. On the bearish scenario, if the Genius Act, for example, doesn't pass, then maybe this is where we pull back down through this level and go back into another correction phase. So either way, it's just marking a date to pay attention to, and it kind of narrows it down instead of leaving it up to guesswork, more or less.
Okay, well, Pipeline, welcome to the show. You came in right at the right moment. We were just going over why July 20th could be a critical date. So you're getting all the juice. Anyway, what's up? What's up? Welcome. Austin's fault. Yeah, I heard Austin was doing a live stream too. So we were just going over this chart here about why July 20th, or just right around that window, could be an important inflection point where we could potentially see a correction back down to the 618, which is currently at $111,951. And if it does not hold that area, we could potentially see down here to the lower levels of the range, the lower 100s, for a little bit more extended correction, right, Trip?
Yeah, maybe down to 100K again. So we've been trying many times over. When we were back here, we broke above 100K, but it wasn't able to hold. And then finally over here, we finally broke above it, and we've been holding that 100K level a couple of times with a couple of bounces so far. So it would be a real ultimate test, in my opinion, if we get another move down to 100K and it holds again. Potentially, you'd see maybe a double bottom forming in this area. So it's a short-term bearish idea, but it has a bullish outlook, depending on a few things that need to happen first. But it's still hopeful from here. Otherwise, the price is still holding above this major resistance level. If this does get a bounce, we're probably moving up to the 1.0 level, around 135K. So again, it's a decision time in this area, or at least on this date or around this date. And we're looking for Bitcoin to choose whether it's going to go up or down from there.
Wow, that's super cool. It feels like magic almost, right? But it's just the charts and different ways to map things out. Trip has a lot of different, what we call them Bitcoin maps, and a lot of different methods and perspectives and tools that he uses that we don't usually see out there. So it's very, very cool. Pipelines in the house, Hopium Days. He's here. Austin's show just ended, so they're like hopping from live stream to live stream. These guys are dedicated. I love it. 808 Mimi, shout out to Maui. Hey there. We were just saying, I'll repeat it again, July 20th is a very important date. So let's keep an eye on that. It is a Sunday, I believe, so maybe it could be Monday, it could be Saturday, but right around that area, right? We're looking for the 618 potentially, a bounce there, or if not, down to the lower hundreds or 100K for an extended period of correction, if that's the bearish idea. So we're just, all eyes on Bitcoin right now, but for now we're doing just fine and the market's looking pretty good. So yeah, I'm loving it.
Yeah, the next one we're going to take a look at, this is a older chart that we had. This was from June 12th of 2023. So you had, this is the DXY. Usually what happens in a bull market for Bitcoin is the DXY usually goes in the opposite direction as Bitcoin. So as Bitcoin goes up, DXY pulls back. So this is one of the early indicators we had that we could go into an extended rise for Bitcoin, or the bull run beginning for Bitcoin essentially. So this bearish divergence on a 5-month chart, right? That's
Wow.
a 5-month bearish divergence. That's a huge swing. So because it's on the MACD, or the histogram, I should say, this is a momentum indicator. So it might not be as strong as the RSI, but it shows that the momentum is massively decreasing on a very big scale. So it might not be an instantaneous move that follows out, or that follows it. You're really looking for something that's longer term, but it's pulling back into a downtrend. So this is the chart before, and now we'll look at the result afterwards. So this has already been confirmed for that bearish divergence, and we've been slowly ticking down with a couple bumps up along the way for sure. But this is really what's kickstarted that Bitcoin bull run, is how long DXY has been pulling back on this higher time frame chart. This bearish divergence has been confirmed. We really could go a lot further. I think potentially there's still another if it's a 5-month chart, that means that every candle takes 5 months to build. So even a couple more candles is almost a year. So
Wow.
I think we still have a lot more time to go for this bearish divergence to keep playing out. Really what we're looking for down here too is on the RSI. We're only at about 50 at this level so far. If this were to come back down near the oversold conditions, that just adds more to the idea that it needs to correct before it can go back up again. So it does extend the timer beyond 2026. So we could be going into a multi-year cycle here for Bitcoin. And a lot of it would be based on how the DXY reacts to this divergence here.
That's interesting. See, these are things that I'm not seeing in other places, like the dollar and the sort of time that it could take to have that correctionary period, which would then support the potential thesis that we could be in a sort of super cycle, right? Or extended cycle, whatever you want to call it, that maybe, just maybe, Bitcoin doesn't top out in the typical October, November range, that maybe we see an extended cycle due to so many different charts and factors and indicators, right? But this is really interesting. So that's very cool.
Yeah, definitely is something to keep an eye on. Once it starts to bounce, you're going to want to pay attention to Bitcoin to see if it starts pulling back. So again, it's not a very fast moving chart because it's a 5-month chart. So you're talking about long-term movements based on this. So the day-to-day stuff might just be noise. You want to be focused definitely on the higher time frame picture here for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of news and a lot of stuff happening out there, guys. Tune out the noise. Just tune in here. That's even better than watching the news. I mean, we'll give it to you like it is. And I just think it's so important in this time. Don't get thrown off your game. Keep your eyes on the prize, right? And you'll do just fine. JD in the house. Theta T Fuel. I love it. I love it. Shout out to that. They are going to blast ADA. Yep, all of those. They're all my favorite cryptos. I mean, you guys are always. There's so many quality projects that you guys list here. I love it. Andrew, everything's moving this morning, and H-bar is still sleeping. I mean, that happens. They take turns, they ebb and flow, right? And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, XRP will blast off or H-bar will blast off. And the important part is to be ready, to be positioned, to have your strategy set, right? Especially if you're trading, if you're long-term investing, it's a little bit easier or different, right? You're just averaging in on the dips. Or you'll have your own strategy. ADA XRP merge. Wow, I haven't heard that one. I know that Charles, on one of his live streams, he was saying sorry to XRP because there's been so much going back and forth, and now he's just more focused on interoperability and the chains sort of working together and doing cool things together, which I think is awesome. So yeah, that would be interesting for sure.
Yeah, we can take a look at the next altcoin setup if everyone's ready.
Actually, before we get into that, I just want to pause. Sorry, Trip. I just want to shout out to some of our new members, and one of them I'm going to share here. It really just really makes us really happy when we see this. So it's a beginner who joined and who's charting and TAing and watching some of our beginners videos, learning how to trade, right? And she's just crushing it in the group now, learning a lot, and she's ready to post her ideas. So the important thing about this is that it's like wax on, wax off, like Miyagi, right? Like this is like persistence is key, consistency, just keep going, learn how to make your own charts. We have a whole beginners group where the admins really walk you through it. They'll help correct the chart, they'll help you get ideas. And also the longer you do this and the more that you do this, the better you get at it. And it's just hours and time spent in this market. And now is the opportunity. So it's so nice to see that the videos have been serving her so well. And yeah, that's really is key, right, Trip? What would you say?
Yeah, definitely. You have to repeat it over and over and over again until it becomes second nature. The reason for that really in the beginning is that when I'm posting a setup, you want to be able to read it and understand it. So if you don't fully understand the terminology used yet, then you might jump into a trade too soon or too late. You might use too big of a position during the incorrect market conditions. So there's all different pieces that you have to put together in the beginning, and it has to make sense. So the best way for it to make sense is just to do it over and over and over and over again. So I've made thousands of charts since I joined the group originally back in, I think it was around 2018, 2019. So since then now, it's just second nature to go to a chart and instantly I can see, oh, here's a support, here's a resistance. This is a key level I need to see break. All of it now is becoming instinct instead of something I have to spend time trying to figure out like it's a puzzle. And that's what we want to get everybody else up to. You get to that point where you're self-sufficient, you can read a chart just as well as the rest of the group, and then you can start trading on your own. The goal of the group is for everyone to graduate from the group, right? That's the point. We want to get in the group, learn what you got to do. Now you can do it for the rest of your life at your leisure. That's the goal.
Right. And shout out to you, Megan, says, really appreciate the technical education. I'm so proud of you for just diving headfirst into this. It can seem daunting in the beginning, but that's what we're all here for, to sort of walk you through it and not to do it for you, but to teach you how to fish. Because then it's like Trip said, it's like learning a language almost. And you start looking at the charts and things start becoming apparent to you. Things just make more sense and it's just easier and easier. And right now is the easiest trading you will get, right? When Bitcoin dominance is going down. It's the best time to jump in and learn. So kudos to you, Megan, for like taking that leap. She says it's been a game changer. And yeah, this is like what freedom is all about. It's like setting your own hours, being able to have these tools to not work a 9-to-5 if that's something you don't want to do, or do it on the side while you're at your job. Think about what you want to do in life and use it as a tool to get there. And it's also really fun, right? And look at this community, how special and empowering and fun it is for all of us to do this together. So yeah, just had to give a quick shout out there. But I'll let you guys get back to the moments you've been waiting for, which are the altcoins that are ready to pop off. So we're going to give you a few gems on the stream, although we have many, many setups going on in the group right now. So Trip, let's hear it.
Okay, so this is WIF on the 12-hour. I think we had talked about this earlier when it was still just the cup and handle waiting for the breakout. And then in the group, we were also saying to watch for a retest. You always want to watch for a retest after a major level is broken. So if we zoom in a little bit here, you can see after we broke the wedge, there's also that 200 MA coming into the picture at the same time. You can see the 200 MA is lined up almost perfectly with this upper trend line of this wedge. That's an ideal scenario, in my opinion. You want to see a resistance level that's horizontal. You want to see a diagonal resistance if there's a pattern, and you want to see the 200 MA all coming together in that little area. That way you're making all different traders happy. So people that are pattern traders are going to see this and say, yes, that's a breakout. People that see it as a 200 MA breakout also will agree with the breakout happening. And then people who just trade support and resistance are also going to agree. And that's where the volume comes from. You get all these different schools of traders coming together that agree that a breakout is happening, no matter how they trade or what their style is.
Right. And so that explains sort of the idea behind why a chart might start to pump, right? Because many different people are looking at these same ideas and there's multiple ideas lining up at the same time. So yeah, Mucker, welcome to the chat. Are you also the A-team, the so-called A-team? Are you coming from Austin's group? Andrew says, like the stream, everyone. Yeah, we much appreciate that, guys. You can like and share and just tell your friends. We want to create as big a community as we can so that we give as much value possible. So yeah, welcome to the stream. We're just going over WIF. WIF does some pretty big moves as well when it pumps. So this is looking good, Trip. I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, the breakout entry for WIF is around $1.25 or so, and that would be the neckline of this cup and handle pattern. You've also got nice resistance back here that it needs to clear first. So it's nice to see that you have a resistance that was rejected, and you can still see back here where the support used to be. So this is becoming a very crucial level to break. And I think once that's broken, definitely going to see some probably fairly quick movement for WIF. If we measure the move from the break of the neckline, you're looking for, that's a 126% move. That's not small potatoes, right? That's a very decent move. If that moves very quickly, this would be a great one to get into, take your profits, jump out, and then wait for another trade. And now you have twice as much money to use in your next trade if you choose to do so.
Oh yeah, compounding those gains, something we talked about a lot on this stream. You'd be surprised what you can do with a very small amount of money to start if you just keep rolling that over. And now is the time to do it. When we're just about to go into altcoin season, you can really do, it's possible that you can start with a small amount and turn that into a very big amount. I mean, we've done some of the calculations on the show earlier. So it's a very special time in the market. Muck says, like and subscribe. Thank you so much. We really appreciate that. We appreciate all the new people here. We're just going over some ideas. We're trying to give you as much value as possible. That's not, we want to give it to you like it is, right? And tune out all the noise and help you succeed in the markets. So yeah, it's really cool. Here we are, M team. Now there's A team and the M team. There's so many teams going on. Really appreciate Megan and Trip. Thank you so much, Jeremy. We really appreciate all you guys too. So WIF is looking good, man. WIF is looking good. We got Cal up next.
Yeah, cow, same thing. Got another cup and handle. So we're looking for a breakout entry above the cup and handle neckline. That's at about 46.7 cents or so. And really, there's not a whole lot of structure to see on the way back up. This is just pretty much a solid downtrend on the way down, and we don't have a lot of price history back here at all. So in my opinion, once this breaks out, it could be a very steady, easy climb to the top of this resistance at the top of the range, and that could be near about $1.16 or so for cow. So from these current levels, or the breakout level, I should say, that move there is another 149, 150% move for cow. So yeah, get ready for a lot of these trades. A lot of these coins are sitting either right below the cup and handle neckline. They're either retesting their 1-day 200 MA or just breaking above it, or some have already broken above and now they're retesting. So you have a ton of different options to get into this little area across a bunch of different coins right now.
Yeah, I mean, these setups, it's like, wow, I can't describe how excited I am for so many opportunities. We're coming to this like bullish double bottom patterns, cup and handles, so many good looking patterns, things breaking above the 200 MA, like daily MA. Like there's so many things to look at right now that are like catalysts for big pumps, right? So if you get positioned, you'll be really sitting pretty and you'll be happy that you did so when those moves come. So yeah, we've got a quiet A-teamer here, says Stephanie. Oh, welcome. I love when new ladies join the chat. That's amazing. Loving it, loving it. JD Megan team, you're awesome. We love you, JD. We love all the support we can get from you guys. Andrew says, good support, good to support crypto creators so more awareness comes to market. Yeah, we want to extend this as far as possible so that we can help as many people as possible and just like have so much freaking fun along the way, right? Mucker says, do we have a Discord? Actually, Mucker, we have a trading group where we're going over all these setups. We're posting setups 24/7, and the link is in the description below. It's on Telegram, so you can just pop it open on your phone. You can look at it wherever you are, and all of our admins, including Trip, who is the lead analyst, are posting 24/7 the most amazing charts and just helping you through the trading journey. So we're doing a 20% off sale until Friday. So here it is, guys. Here it is, the opportunity to invest in yourself. We've got Neil in the house. Megan and Trip doing a great job. Thank you, Neil. Oh, Skull, real ice bear. It always makes me happy to see you in the chat. Late, but you made it. Hey, better late than never. So yeah, we're just having a good time. I look forward to these. Like Friday's going to be good too. I'm going to toast you guys, maybe with a little ATH vodka. I don't know, because in my time, it's already 8 p.m. Somewhere it's 5 p.m. Just celebrating the market conditions. Maybe we'll do some more leverage trading. Let us know if you like seeing more content about leverage trades, right? We might bring our leverage trader back on Friday. But yeah, we're having a really great time with everyone, and we're going to keep going. So yeah. Oh, Lumia. Okay, this one I'm very excited for. In fact, I already have a position. So Trip, take it away.
Yeah, Lumia. This used to be ORN, Orn. So they've done a rebranding. They've turned into Lumia now, and looks like it's been bottoming out completely down here. You've broken above this long-term yellow trend line. This goes back to early February in 2025. So now that you've got that break above the yellow trend line, we're also looking at the break above the point of control here. That's this volume profile. That shows where most of the volume was in this structure across this whole range. So you use that as a key level. And we're looking at the combination of the 200 MA on 12 hour in the same area. So just like we talked about before on, I think it was WIF, where you're looking for a break above multiple levels at the same time. You have the same thing going on here with Lumia. So you've broken above the point of control. It's already retested the point of control. It's broken above the 12-hour 200 MA, and now it's pushing above that yellow trend line at the same time. So the entry for here is the breakout entry above the trend line. If you do get a retest of that trend line, it could be a great entry. You might want to zoom in here to see what's going on maybe on the 1 hour chart. Maybe you can find another smaller structure that it can help you pick your entry a little better if you don't get that retest that we're looking for here. But otherwise, yeah, Lumia, great chart. Measure the move here from the breakout level. We'll go from a current level, I guess. And still, it's about a 98% move on the 12-hour chart, just to the top of this local range. Now, Lumia's got a lot of structure back here. So this is something you want to keep an eye on. Might not even stop just at this level. We could be going up to maybe this resistance back here, and that would shoot the target up to about 200% just to this key resistance. So a lot of these structures zoomed in might be great moves, but if you're talking about bull run holding, some of these things could shoot beyond even those local resistance levels and head all the way up to the top of the range. We have quite a few setups that are also aiming for this top of the range target. So that's about a 616% move if you can be patient enough and wait for those gains.
Yeah, I mean, we've been patient this far. I mean, we might as well just keep going, right? I mean, Lumia is looking good, guys. Lumia is looking good. 808, Mimi's, hey, love this live. We love having you on. You're great energy. And you want leverage trading. All right, well, we will bring back our leverage trade analyst this Friday if you guys want. And we'll do some leverage trades. Is Altura, Neil says, is Altura likely to come back, or do you think the project is dead? I actually don't know what Altura is. If we have time, maybe we'll be able to pull that chart up here now as we're coming to an end, but I'm not sure what that is, Neil. So let us know what that is, and maybe we'll look more into it. And guys, by the way, what are you guys drinking? Because I'm working like 24/7 around my computer and burning the midnight oil. And I just want to know, like, are you drinking matcha? Do you have anything special? I need a new drink. I love coffee, Coke Zero. What do you guys like? Let me know what you're drinking. I know it's sort of random, but sometimes people have really fun drinks or things that they're looking at. So yeah, live trading, JD. I don't know. Okay, this is actually interesting because we were going to do some live trading with one of the biggest exchanges that asked our team to be on, because we have some of the most talented analysts. So we did contemplate that. It's not ideal, right? Because, you know, there have to be the exact conditions at the time we happen to go live, and we'd like to give you guys notice. But yeah, we have been in talks to do that. So I don't know. It could be in the future. Beer, Pipeline says. All right, like your style. What kind of beer? What kind of beer? My favorite drink is Mr. Black Cold Brew Coffee Liquor. Oh, liqueur. Goes great with vodka for espresso martini. All right, I hope it's ATH vodka, Andrew. But maybe we'll have to put that drink on the menu. You know, we have like a whole cocktail menu that we do for parties and stuff. Earl Grey tea. Real Ice Bear, where are you at? Are you British? Where are you coming from? You know how to say skull and you drink Earl Grey. That's pretty cool. Espresso latte. Yeah, that's amazing. I love coffee. Altura is to do with gaming and putting NFTs in the games. Okay, that's where I heard about it before. Look, what I'll say about gaming is I did a podcast. I've done several podcasts with Yatsu, who's the co-founder of Animoca Brands, right? The biggest behemoth in the space that's pretty much shotgunning investing in all the games. He's so smart, and he's just says that gaming will come back with a vengeance, and I truly believe it will. And when that happens, I mean, a lot of the more quality projects will probably rage. I mean, it might happen, you know, not at the beginning of the cycle, but probably follow it along with NFTs. And I would assume that the good projects would do pretty well in that environment. Real Ice Bear says Northeast Coast US. Oh yeah, you were from like Maine. It was a really beautiful state, right? Yeah. I remember you saying something about that, but you're pretty enlightened about the world. So very cool. All right, sorry about that tangent. Do you think Gala is dead? No, Gala just did a big pump. What up, Zach? Good to see you in here. He's also from Marbella, or well, lives in Marbella where I live. So yeah, Marbella party in the house. I don't think Gala is dead. I mean, it just had a huge pump. One of our leverage traders posted it a couple of weeks back, and it did really well. So fundamentally, is it dead? That I haven't looked into in a while, but it did have a good run. Oh, look at that. Real Ice Bear is a Canadian expat living in the US. All right, all right. It's simple. Pipeline says, I like Corona and, okay, don't laugh at me if I don't know what that is. Ewingling? Does anybody know what that is? Because I'm not sure what that is. Have you heard of that, Trip?
No, not familiar.
Very cool. I'd love to hear about people's drinks. Let's see. There's been a rumor that GTA 6 will have crypto implemented. That would truly bring crypto to mainstream gaming. Oh, yeah. I mean, I really think that it's got to have it implemented without a doubt. It's probably the reason they delay so much. I mean, it must, right? I mean, it just makes so much sense. That would be, I mean, talk about like making an extended or huge blow off top when the day that GTA says that there's crypto. I mean, people won't ever stop playing, right? Ewingling, JD. Do you know what that is? Does anybody? It's a PA beer. Okay, so you guys all know what that is. That's interesting. Megan knows what it is. Pipeline. Okay. We'll have to try that one. Very cool. Well, thank you for enlightening me about your drinks because I need a new one. And the beer could be good for a Saturday afternoon. I like it. Good stuff. So let's get back into the charts, guys. Oh, you live in PA. Oh, sorry, Megan. I thought it was a beer from PA. All right. I'm getting things all mixed up, but I would love to actually see Pennsylvania. I think it's probably beautiful there in the East Coast. So I got to go sometime. But yeah, definitely will make it out there. There's a lot of crypto events happening there. So it's on my radar. And that being said, let's dive back into this because, okay, how do we say this, Trip? Chai, XAI?
Xi. Yeah, it's just XAI is fine, I think. Yeah. So yeah, this is another really big chart. This is one of our, it's a moonbag pick that we actually picked up for the group. So it's a longer term hold. So just a smaller entry down here could equate to really large gains. So as we were showing on the Lumia chart where it has all this price structure back here at the top, now we're looking at XAI that has a very similar idea going on. So this is the very bottom of the bottom. And if we were to come all the way back up to this top, that's a massive move. So we're going to focus on the breakout entry above the 200 MA here. I'll zoom in a little closer here. And we're using the 8-hour chart as our key chart for the resistance of the 200 MA, just because the 200 MA seems to be very respected so far. You've already had a rejection once. Now you got a bit of a double bottom and we're testing it again. So if you get that breakout entry above the 200 MA, it could be a great lazy long setup, as we've mentioned before, where you don't have to monitor it much. You just hold a small bag and then over the next couple months, take some profits along the way, but definitely some massive upside. So we're going to measure the double bottom measured move, and that would be from the breakout of the 200 MA. They're looking for about 152% move to this key resistance level back here, and that's at about 16.5 cents. So the current level we're sitting at is only about 6.5 cents currently. If we were to measure the move to the top of the range, I have to really pull this down so the chart flattens out. You can get a crazy move up here, and that's about a 540% profit. So I think XAI, yes, definitely have a little bag of that. It could perform very well, and it'd be a low cost, low maintenance trade, in my opinion.
Right. So when you say moon bag, just for those who are wondering, it's sort of a smaller bag that you have packed, ready to go for blast off, right? But that's a lower cap, right?
Yeah, I think it's only about $100 million market cap, so it's not quite a large cap. It's in the billions yet. But a move like this could send it, a lot closer for sure. But yeah, just XAI, because AI coins haven't had a chance really to see a bull run yet. So you want to start grabbing little bags of these AI coins that haven't seen those megalithic moves during a bull run in their lifetime yet. So definitely want to keep it on your radar. I have a little bag already, and I might add to it again if we get a breakout above the 200 MA there.
Oh yeah, and AI is going to be a rager this cycle. AI and RWA, can't say it enough. So it's smart to have some moon bags packed with some of those AI picks and the RWA picks. I know we've been going over Proppy Pro as potentially a moon bag pick for RWA, bringing property rights, real estate on chain, and they're about $100 million market cap. So there are a lot of good quality picks that are highly slept on, in my opinion. So take a look at those guys for your moon bags, okay? Oh, and just to clarify, Megan says it's a beer from Pennsylvania. Okay, I got it. And with lime says JD, no lime, says Pipeline. Oh, it's a debate. It's a debate. I think I would vote lime. Yeah. But thanks for clarifying that, guys. And yeah, the moon bags are where it's at. And now is the time to have a look at that. Just as the strategy, right? A small section for your moon bags, your long-term portfolio with your blue chips and your foundational plays, and then your trading portfolio, and then potentially a leverage trading portfolio, right? So there's so many different things that you could be doing with different strategies to sort of crush it this cycle.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have time to take some requests if you guys have any. I've been looking through our Telegram, and I don't think members have asked for anything yet. They get a lot of updates already, but if you guys have anything you want to take a look at, we'll do a couple of those request charts for you as well.
Yeah, I know one member did ask me about Sol, so let's go ahead maybe and have a look at Sol while we're waiting. If you guys have any charts you want to go over, we will go over those. Did I miss the ADA chart? We did not do ADA today yet, but we've been doing ADA continuously. ADA is going to smash it this cycle. Maybe we'll do that if we have time as well. T-Fuel. Okay, JD, I think we need to do T-Fuel because we haven't done that one yet. I really like T-Fuel. So let's quickly look at where we're at with Sol, and then I'd say maybe an ADA update and a T-Fuel, and then let's see if we have time for others. Yeah?
Sure. The Sol chart's actually looking a little better. So yesterday we were talking about there was a break above this local resistance. I forgot to have it on the chart here. So it's just this resistance around it's about 166. We wanted to see that level break first, and now we're seeing Sol push above that level locally. So the key resistance, we're starting to approach it. You already got some candles down here to pretty much the same level, but we want to see a break above this previous high, and that's about 185 that needs to break first. And then again, very similar still. It might not be a perfect rounded bottom for a cup and handle, but it can still be treated like a cup and handle breakout. The only other thing I could see happening is if Bitcoin pulls back in the short term, maybe we have a longer pattern coming into play here. So if you get a rejection at the upper trend line, now you could be forming an ascending triangle. So Sol would have to come back down, test this lower trend line again, and maybe have a bit of a range form before it has the actual breakout. But otherwise, the way the rest of the market's looking, it's very possible that we could break on the next attempt here when we test this resistance.
Right. Yeah. No. Sol is looking okay. Now we went over it yesterday, and it already broke the resistance level that we spoke about yesterday, 166 local resistance. So just want to know, guys, what's your pick? Because I asked, like, on all of my podcasts with all of the big guys, you know, Charles and Kevin O'Leary and some of the other ones, Yatsu, all of them. I said, what is your preference, ETH or Sol? And I'm just curious whether we have ETH people or Sol people in the house. Let me know. Mimi's 808 Mimi says, what platform do you use to trade or buy on? It depends on what jurisdiction you are, right? Like I use Binance in Europe, and that's okay for just normal spot trading. But for leverage trading, if you want ones that are no KYC, we have a link in the description below for Blowfin and BidFi. Those are the two that we use in the group. And otherwise, we have heard talks about Bit2Next that we'll probably get in touch with that team. But yeah, it depends on where you're located. If you're in the U.S., you said, Trip, what would you recommend for U.S. users?
For US users, yeah, just the ones we're using currently. So if you sign up for BitFi, they allow KYC for American users, or you can sign up with our link and you don't have to do KYC at all. You just have to sign up with a Gmail account, and then you can use, you can get the benefits from using our link with just the Gmail account alone, and you don't have to do KYC at all. But really, that's probably one of your best bets. We're just trying to find exchanges that we've been using for a while that have proven themselves. That's why we continue to use the same ones. To start a whole new relationship with another exchange takes time. So if we were to recommend something else, we would need to vet it first and then try it out for ourselves for a little while and just see if any kinks pop up. Maybe there's some withdrawal issues or something, or maybe the fees are really high, right? So there's all kinds of different things that we need to see first before we can recommend another exchange. But BidFi and Blowfin, like we talked about last time too, they've been very good to us. Every time I have a problem or a concern, or if a member has an issue of any kind, they usually solve that problem within the day at the very least. So they've just been too good to us already. I don't see a need to look for anything else. Even if you're in Canada, you can also use BitFi or Blowfin just the same. You might have to use a VPN for Blowfin, but I haven't really heard anybody having any problems in the group. So from what I've heard, everything's fine as far as those exchanges are concerned.
Yeah, yeah, and like it does mean something that we are in constant touch with the team and the higher ups in the team. It's nice to have that contact, and just that we've been using it a while, so we have some sort of trust in what we're doing with them, right? So it establishes that relationship, which is good, and we haven't had problems so far. So, yep, those are pretty good ones. JD, you're in luck because it looks like we've got T-Fuel up here. Could be the sleeper of this cycle. If Theta booms, T-Fuel will do a massive move as well. So let's have a look at that.
Yeah, T-Fuel looks good. I think we had actually covered it quickly by request on one of our older streams, but I can't remember. It might have been something we did in the group too. So either way, it's same thing. You have this major support level across the bottom at about 0.02889, and that's this support here that we've been bouncing off of so far. So if history is any guide, last time you saw this double bottom, it started a huge rally to the upside. So if we just measure that move previously, same double bottom, we'll measure essentially from where we are now at pretty much the same level. It's about here. So that was already a 274% move the last time. So from here, same thing, current levels, we're going up to about that 274% mark. We really need to see a break above the point of control. I'm going to look at the 200 MA on the 3-day first, and that's almost in the same area. I'm going to zoom into the 1 day to see where that 200 MA moves to. And now it's acting as current local resistance. So I'll get rid of this for a second. And now we're just going to zoom into the smaller structure, that double bottom that we're watching. So now we can add a horizontal line. Excuse me. And now you're looking for a break above that line and the 200 MA. So again, as we mentioned, you're looking for breaks above resistance that are complemented to different styles of traders. So that 200 MA and this horizontal resistance, those are key levels that we need to see break for a strong move to happen. That's probably where you're going to see this volume spike come in if this breakout does happen. Even if you were trading it just up to the point of control from the breakout, this is already a decent move on its own over a very short-term move, about a 30% pump you could expect. So that could be a quick in and out trade, and now you have more money for the next one. Maybe you take profit here and you get a pullback. So if you can take that 30% profit at the top and then add it back to your position on the retest, then you'd have a bigger position for the bigger move that could be coming.
Right. And like I said, if Theta does those massive moves that we think that has the potential to do, T-Fuel most likely will outperform Theta, right? Or be right up there with it because they move in unison and it's a smaller cap and they're doing a lot of development with it, which I feel like I need to do a whole video update just on its own. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not sure what the market cap is, but I do think it's a fraction of the size of Theta itself. So that's why you're going to see the moves be definitely a lot bigger in comparison.
Right. Yeah, but looking pretty good there, JD. We're excited. We're excited for the future of the Theta network ecosystem. We've got a lot of people in the house now. James, you missed. Yeah, it's okay, man. Like these are recorded. You'll go back. I'm gonna try to timestamp them. If I can get my team on that, because I feel like that'll be really useful if you want to just go back and see bits and pieces of it. But James is Soul Guy. All right, we got Soul Guy. ETH versus Sol, that's the question. Monim, Pepe, we showed Pepe in the stream yesterday, Monim. You might want to check that out. It's in yesterday's stream. Raw Food Writer, guys, how high can XRP go? The $1 million question, 30, 50, 100. Maybe we'll do one log scale look at XRP, maybe not on this one, but on a following live stream, and we'll have a look at where things could potentially go if we get really heated. Crypto Invest, good evening. 808 Mimi is going to use the link. Thank you. Yeah, we like no KYC too. So phenomenal. Yeah, we're happy to have you on board. And James, smiley face. Let's see, Antisocial Maniac. I love your username. I always think it's hilarious because you aren't that antisocial because you're always socializing with us anyway. So we feel privileged. Sold my ADA for Theta today. Hard decision, but as a small investor with small funds, I had no choice. Okay, so why did you do that? Do you of the belief that ADA is going to outperform Theta this cycle? Let us know what you're thinking there. Are you looking at the charts? I see Trip here pulled up Pepe. Well, you're just in luck, Almonim. Let's check it
Actually,
out.
I think Antisocial is saying that he sold his ADA for Theta because
Right.
ADA's already had a decent run up, right? So now we can compound those gains by putting into something that hasn't moved as much. That actually could be a really smart play.
All right.
The closer that chart is to the bottom, the higher it has to go. So you could be capturing a bigger percentage move by doing that switch. Now, the only thing that might kick you later on is if ADA shoots up 10x from here and Theta
Right.
doesn't quite go as high. But those are all things that you just kind of, you got to roll with the punches to see how that's going to go. In my opinion, I don't like to let go of a whole position just in case that happens. Then you have FOMO running through you like poison. So it's nice to just take a portion of that position out and then you can throw it into something else that could outperform it just the same. But either way, I think that could be a good call. From a trader's perspective, that could be a very wise decision, definitely.
There you go. You can ease your nerves there, Antisocial Maniac. Looks like you're doing okay. If you're trading, then that, yeah, it could be a potentially great move. Long-term investing, you know, maybe you want to have a little bit of both, but trading, the goal is always to compound the gains. So yeah, if you got to kind of try to take the emotions out of it when you're trading for sure.
Right. So yeah, we'll take a look at the Pepe chart. We were talking about a breakout above this trend line yesterday. So now you're starting to get that little poke above resistance now, and the volume's just starting to come in slowly. So you definitely be paying attention to Pepe for a breakout confirmation. Once this candle closes above that level, you definitely want to be paying attention for a retest. Like we've said many times, that retest could be your golden entry opportunity. I typically don't like to chase the big green candles, especially when they haven't confirmed with the candle body close yet. So even if I miss a portion of this move, the next thing I'll be looking for is a breakout above this resistance that we've been watching. And that's at, tiny numbers again, 0.0000001569. So
Yeah.
that's a decent level to watch. That's the breakout of the cup and handle neckline that you need to pay attention to next.
Right, right. Yeah. So Pepe rages on when it starts to get going. So I'm excited to get an entry in Pepe. I'm definitely looking for that. But like Trip is saying, there's always a different entry. So if you miss this one, you don't get the retest, then you can go for the other breakout entry, right? So there's always a place to get in. No need to FOMO in the middle of the move. So that's the lesson there. And I'm seeing here, I think so. Zach is a member of the group. So we'll take his request for SEI for say next. And I think with that, we'll probably wrap it up. Shall we have a look at say, Trip?
Sure. I'm just going to try to find another chart to use here.
Yeah.
We had this set up for say a while ago, actually, in the group. We were looking for the initial breakout down here. I think it was the breakout of this trend line. So we've had a little bit of volatility. This kind of looked like an inverse head and shoulders. It still does. We're going to draw that in really quick just to see how it could have faked you out a little bit, because there was a bit of a pullback that dipped below where that trend line should have been. So this trend line here, we're going to make this yellow just so it's easier. And we'll get rid of that one. So yeah, we had a breakout above the inverse head and shoulders, but it popped back in a couple of times. And this would have been a little tricky because the 200 MA here on the 1 day time frame was the actual strong support that you need to see a bounce off of. We didn't quite get a solid retest of this yellow trend line initially. So you might have missed that move, but even from the breakout here, if you got in originally at the breakout of this falling wedge, I'm going to draw that in really quick. So already from that level, that's already up about 96%, 99% or so from the setup that we posted in group. And this was from middle of June or so, from June 22nd. So right now it looks fine. I'm going to zoom out here to see what else is going on. I'm going to delete all this stuff. And I'm going to see the bigger picture. Essentially, though, we are aiming for, again, the top of this range up here. So let's see if we have any clues from the fixed range volume profile to give us any edge. And that's already been broken above very cleanly. The next thing I'd be looking at is where is this key resistance that it's bouncing off of? So I'm focused on this wick. Why is it getting rejected right here? So I'm starting to line it up with here you had a peak where it got rejected. Over here is a couple support bounces. Here it was rejected slowly or for a moment, and then it popped back up. Then you had some support here, also lining up with a 200 MA at that time, and then it broke lower. So I definitely think this level is the key level to watch. Basically, it's 40 cents, 0.3988. So once that level breaks, we could probably draw a resistance zone here instead. Just it's never quite an exact level, right? These always poke a little above, they come back down a little below, pokes a little above. It's not a perfect line. So this resistance zone is something I would probably scale into. If you get a break above it, you want to buy or start scaling in on the pullback if you get that retest. We'd be looking for a move to the top of the range here from the current levels right here. It's still about a 92% move that it has to go. So from the bottom entry, from the bottom entry where we had the breakout of the channel right around this area, that point it would be about a 240% max move so far that we would have had from the group so far.
That's phenomenal. So Say is looking good. Zach, I don't know if you're still here, but I'll let him know we went over this so he can see it on the replay. It's looking phenomenal. So yeah, it's just whether or not where you get that entry point. But yeah, I do remember when we posted this in group and it did really well. So yeah, it tends to run with Sui also, right? Or, similar.
Yeah, definitely. They tend to move. Once one starts, the other one will follow essentially too. JD is asking Gmail only, no KYC. Yeah, if you sign up with our link in the description for BidFi, then you don't have to do KYC as long as you sign up with a Gmail account. That's their minimum requirement for a KYC because the Gmail is still linked to a person at the very limited lower levels, but it's just barely enough for them not to have to request KYC for all members. So definitely, if you're going to sign up with our link, use that Gmail address. Otherwise, you may have your funds, they may be restricted from withdrawing if you don't do so. So it's something you want to do beforehand. Make sure you have that done. You don't want to be trying to fix the problem afterwards by saying, oops, I forgot to use a Gmail. So definitely use a Gmail if you do sign up with that link.
Yeah, and it's BidFi, JD. It's BYDFI. The link's in the description below, so you'll know where to go. But yeah, it's good for those who don't want to KYC. It's a great option, and we've been having good communication with them. So we're liking it so far, and we've been using it for a while. So yeah, go ahead and check that out. And Not Jack says, thanks, Megan and Trip, enjoying the charting. We're glad. I mean, I like also the way Trip explains the process behind the charting, right? And how you find those resistance levels and what they mean and what you should look for next. It's kind of like you can apply this to any chart out there. And that's just it. I think XRP is kind of raging forward. I don't know if we want to pull that one up as our very last chart just to see where it's at right now, Trip, and maybe end on that note.
Yeah, I have the original setup here. Let me bring it over in a moment. Just zooming out on my little side screen.
ADA, says Juicy. We did do ADA yesterday, I believe, and the day before that. We do ADA quite a bit here, just because it's one of our favorites, and it's been having really great setups lately. So let's have a look at XRP first here.
Yeah, XRP looks... Yeah, sorry. XRP is looking good now. It's continuing the breakout that we were watching originally, so it hasn't really stopped. This is a daily chart, so you're going to see some noise on the lower time frames during these pullbacks. But if you zoom out, you can see that it's just been powering harder and pushing further and further. Nothing's really changed about this trend yet. The breakout entry that we had was either the break above the triangle trend line or that one-day 200 MA. And now we've just cleared the 0.618 fib level recently around the 12th of July. And now this local resistance it's basically this little area. You're looking at this top and you're looking for where it was bouncing a couple times too. I don't know if you can see this big wick on the chart. Wicks sometimes get distorted in the video. Let me see if I can see it if I zoom in more. So this big wick, that definitely shows that there was some buying pressure. People wanted to hold this level at the time. So when we visited that level again, you got a very strong rejection from there. And that's usually how it goes, right? It turns support, turns into resistance. And then when you're breaking out, that resistance needs to turn back into support. So once we break above this level, you're looking for another retest. If it happens, that could be your best entry. But if XRP keeps running, you want to buy the break above the previous high. The whole high of this range is at about $3.40. It looks like $3.40 on the nose exactly. So if you get a break above 340, then you can start aiming for these higher targets within this fib range. The 1.272 is around 388. The 1.618 is around 4.5, and and then the 2.0 is around $5.18. So yeah, the way it looks, it's just been pushing through resistance after resistance. Nothing seems to be stopping it quite yet, but I would expect some resistance up here once it reaches this high. I don't doubt for a moment that some traders are going to be taking profit. That's just how it's programmed. It's what they were taught to do, is take profit at resistance and buy on support. So definitely expect a little bit of volatility in that area when we get there.
All right, yeah. So if you don't get at entry to $2.99, just about $3, then you know the levels to watch, guys. XRP is one on our radar. So is ADA Juicy. I think we'll have to go over that one tomorrow because we've hit the hour. We're a little bit over. So I think we're going to wrap up the stream on that note. But you guys, Daniel says Cardano 200. Wow, yeah, that's a hefty number right there. We did do Cardano on the log scale, and we got some pretty incredible numbers long term. So yeah, so Daniel's asking, you think, are you asking about XRP? We could potentially do that one on the log scale another day. I want to know XRP price predictions for this cycle, price levels.
I can throw up a quick.
Okay,
I can do a quick log scale.
Yeah, all right, let's go then. Let's check those levels. You're in luck today, Raw Food Writer.
Yeah, just to see what it looks like. I don't think we've done this quite yet. So yeah, the measured move for XRP, actually, you know, even on log scale, it doesn't make very dramatic change. We were looking for $5 at the 2.0 level, and this is only reaching up to about $7 on the log scale here. So these are very conservative numbers, in my opinion, but you're not really getting much of an edge by saying that it's going to go dramatically higher based off what I can measure. If I was to zoom out, maybe, I mean, you do have a gigantic structure here. I'm going to delete all this stuff too. I'm going to go up to, I think the weekly chart is what we originally charted this on. And then I'll take away the 200 MA just because it's kind of in the way. And now we can measure this structure. So we've broken above this resistance for this large double bottom. If we measure using fibs here, I would probably go down all the way to this one. So now you can see the 1.272 on this bigger log scale picture. This is a weekly chart, remember. That 1.272 level is now acting as local resistance. The 1.618 is now turned into $7.54. And then the measured move for this double bottom on a log scale chart shoots up to about $19 at the 2.0. So that would be a safe area where I'd be looking for profit taking for XRP during this bull run. Doesn't mean it's necessarily the top. We've seen things go way beyond their measured moves, but $19 still sounds pretty amazing from where we are locally right now.
Yeah, that's a pretty hefty number right there for XRP this cycle. If things heat up, man. So these log scale charts are really great to sort of get that perspective, and I think Trip does a great job at explaining the use of it, right, and how to differentiate and why we use linear versus log and all that stuff. We also teach it in the group. So Juicy is hyped up on ADA, Cardano. I know we have a lot of Cardano people in the house. So good to see you here. I know Cardano is looking pretty good right about now as well. So we've got our eyes on that. What do you think, Trip? Shall we call it for today and start again tomorrow?
Yeah, I think we need to see a little more information from Bitcoin first, and then we'll see how that happens, or see how that looks tomorrow.
Right. So Juicy, tune in tomorrow, and just maybe we'll be able to do that ADA chart for you. Let's see what Bitcoin does overnight. And Pipeline, I know you said he had to go, but great to see you in the house. Guys, it was so fun once again. Love all of your energy. Just keep bringing that energy. And we're looking forward to tomorrow's stream. Probably we'll have the leverage trades on Friday. So yeah, tune in. Juicy says he's tuning in. Juicy, you know what? If you're here tomorrow, we'll probably do that Cardano chart for you. So looking forward to that. And yeah, on that note, guys, have an incredible rest of your Wednesday afternoon and evening, depending on where you are. And adios, amigos. JD, adios, guys. Have a great night, and we will see you tomorrow.
Right on. Thanks, everybody. Take care.